coloring channel. I am going to try and color the Grizaye coloring kit in today's video and see how I like the kit and if it's easy to color. First, remember, if you like this type of video, to give it a thumbs up so that I know what kind of videos to bring you in the near future. If you want to see more adult coloring videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribing really helps in supporting my channel and gives me the ability to grow my channel and get it in front of as many adult coloring YouTubers as possible. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload new adult coloring videos. In the description box is where you can find a link to my Facebook group where we do color alongs, live coloring chats, and coloring giveaways, if you would like to join us over there. In the description box you can also find a link to my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter if you would like to follow me on one of those. Now let's have some fun and get into this video. So I already reviewed the Grizaye coloring kit in another video, but I didn't try it out and color it. So I will attach that video to a link up above for those who haven't seen it yet. So the things that I'm going to be looking for while I'm coloring this, I'm going to watch out for how easy it is to color for beginners and how easy it is for me to color. Since I'm not basically a beginner, I'm more of a intermediate colorist. But looking at the kit, it looks a little difficult. And I also want to watch out to see if you can make it look as nice as the picture they provide in the kit. And if I think this is worth the money or not. Or is it just really, should you really just put your money towards a coloring book instead? Because to me, I thought this kit was a little pricey. So I just want to see how much I enjoy doing this, or will I get frustrated with it? So that's the things we're going to be looking out for in this video. So let's have a look at the kit and what I will color today. So this is the Rose Collection Yellow part of the kit, and these are the colors that they suggest use in the kit. So I have all the colors out now and I have those set to the side. I'm just going to read a little bit of what they recommend you do. And so it says, we recommend that you start with your darks first. Defining the details now will help ensure they will not get lost. Next, lay down your midtones. Leave your brightest areas the color of the paper. Now go in with your lightest colors and blend as you go. Use a blender pencil will help fill in the tooth of the paper and smooth out transitions. A white pencil on top of your colored pencil will brighten colors and make highlights pop. Last, go over all your areas again, finishing up by redefining the details and reinforcing the darkest darks and lightest lights. Good luck, and most of all, have fun. So I picked this one to do because it looks like it might be the easiest one to do. The butterfly one looked very difficult. So I did not want to try to go ahead and do that one first. So like I said, I have the colors picked out already. And the flower is supposed to look like this. And this is how the flower is supposed to look. But we all know that this is a picture. And it's a photographed picture. So I'm not really sure if our coloring is going to look exactly like this picture. But I will try my best and see what I can do. So this is how the picture actually looks before you color it. And this is kind of like a grayscale picture. And so some of my concerns is that a lot of the details in the back of the picture you can't really see. But I'm going to stay more focused on the flower itself and see if I can get this flower to look like this flower here. So we will see. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pencils out, and it suggests that they use the Prismacolor Premier pencils, which I have. I'll let you know what pencils I'm using and what numbers they are as I go. So here we go. So since it suggested we use the darker colors first, I'm going to start with the greens in the back and see if I can get some of the details of this greens to start standing out. And some parts of this is supposed to be black. If you can see, like some of it, they're suggesting that you use a black pencil for like back there and back in those areas where it's really dark. And like right up in here in that area is a little black. So we'll see how I get, if I can get this to exactly look like that. I'm just going to put this on the side so I can have it where I can look at it. And I'm going to start off with the suggested color that they said use, which is dark green PC 908. And I'm just going to try to color in some leaves and see how that turns out. And right away I noticed that the paper has a lot of tooth to it. So I'm just laying this green down in here where the leaves are. And it's hard to get I'm just wondering how I'm going to be able to get the outline of those leaves to show in the picture like they are here. And I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see more. The issue that I have with this so far is that I just don't think this is something that's easy for a beginner to do, like coloring in a book. It just doesn't have much of an outline here for you to see. So I'm kind of doing some guessing work, and I don't like to do a lot of guessing work. I like to be able to visualize exactly what it's going to look like in my head after I'm finished. And I'm having a hard time visualizing what this is going to look like after I'm done. I know for sure that it's not going to look like that picture, because that's a picture of a photograph and this is a coloring page. They're actually going to look totally different. You can't make a photograph look You can't make a coloring picture look like a photograph. That's just not easy to do. So I'm going to put some darkness right up in here where that dark green is. but again, you can barely see it. So I'm doing a lot of guesswork again about where the colors should go and if the outline of the leaf is actually going to show up. So the thing about this kit is that I think, you know, like it's supposed to be like a magician, like it just magically happens and magically happens to look like that picture. That's just not how coloring works. So here's a dark green leaf right here, looks like. I'm just going to outline it a little bit. But yet again, my issue with that is that you can't see what it is. And so I'm scrumbling in this color in these dark areas. I just feel like there's not enough detail here. So far, that's how it's looking. So I'm going to move down to the bottom here where I think it's darker green color. There's some darker green color up in here. And there's more of a darker green color here, up right here. So along the edge is supposed to be a lighter green, so I'm not going to put this green on the edge. I'm just going to put it in the middle of the leaf. So it also says to use a colorless blender to smooth out your colors. Right now my colors is not smoothed out yet. I'll do that towards the end. But I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video while I try to color in some of this dark area, and then I'll be back when I get to another color. I think I have most of my dark green areas in. It's looking a little weird right now, but I'm just going off of what they say do and see if I can get it the way it's supposed to look. But for now, this is how it's looking right at the beginning. So now I'm going to try to get the orange area in. The orange areas are right in here. So I'm just going to try to get some of those orange areas in the background in and see how it goes. So I'm going to use the cadmium orange hue, which is PC118. And I'm just going to add those orange areas in where I see them at. And like I said, this paper is very toothy, very toothy. And I might go back and forth between the orange and the green if I see more areas that need green. So I'm going to speed up the video from here and try to put in all the oranges. In now, and now I think I'm going to do some of the black areas since it wants you to do your darker colors first. So I'm just going to add some black areas in, like right around here. It's a darker green. And I'm going to speed up the video while I do this part. some of the light green. It's a spring green PC913. I'm just going to put some of this light green into the leaves and see if it helps it look a little better. But keep in mind that I haven't blended anything out yet and that we're still at the beginning stages. Hopefully it will look a little better once we get all the colors in there. I'm just going to lay a little yellow right up in here, just so we can have some yellow on the edges. This is the leaf in the picture, looks like it has a little bit of yellow on it. So then I'm going to put some light green in it, which is the spring green. I'm just going to add a little more yellow on the spine part right here. So I'm just going to add another layer. Okay, so now I think that's looking better and it looks like a leaf. So I'm going to go to this side and try to do this leaf. And I think I might add just a little bit of yellow on this leaf, just in the middle of the spine. And maybe around the edges. Also on this one. So I'm going to add the light green to this one. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of light green on top of that dark green, just to see if I can give it a little more texture. So I'm going to color this leaf. I'm just putting like medium pressure so I can get a better layer of color on there. So this one looks like a little lighter to me too, so I'm going to actually color this one in. There. So it's starting to come together with the leaves. So now we just need to get over here on this side and put some lighter green in this side. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video while I do that. PC935 in the darker areas to just get a little more dimension, and I'm going to speed up the video while I do that. So I think now that I'm going to try and do the flower, I'll blend everything out last. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the yellow part of the flower, and the yellow that they're calling for is this Deco Yellow, which is PC 1011, and I'm just going to put that mostly all over the flower. So I'm thinking that the darker yellow parts can go up in the shadow area, and then I'm thinking I can add a little bit of the white on the tips of the flower to make it a little lighter. But I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video while I add the yellow to this whole flower, starting now. Explain a little bit of how I'm going about doing this. The yellow part, I'm going in really with hard pressure at first, and then when I get out to the edges here, I'm really lightening up the color because I don't want the color to be this really dark orange. I want it to be a lighter, this really dark yellow. I want it to be a lighter yellow on the tips of the flowers so that it has some dimension. So I'm actually putting the color very light, or not taking it all the way to the edge, and then I'll go ahead and blend it out with white and put that white on the edge, so that way we'll have more dimension in the flower. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up this flower, and I'll speed up the video right here. So now that I've done both flowers and I left the tips a little bit white just so we can have some highlights in the picture. Now I'm just going to blend everything out, but the first thing that I'm going to blend out is the flower, and I'm going to use my white pencil to do that. Hopefully it's not, maybe I'll just blend out the tips with the white pencil. So I'm just going to blend out the tips with the white pencil, and then I'll go in with my blender pencil. So I'm pressing a little hard just to get that blend on the tips. And I'm going from the outside in to inside because I don't want to mess up those highlights. And so I'm just making the outer just a little bit lighter where I left those highlights. And I'm just going to speed up the video while I do this. So now I'm going to take my blender pencil and I'm going to blend everything all out. And I'm going to speed up the video while I do that also. But I'm just going to blend the colors together, and I'm using my Grizaye blender pencil for this. So I'll speed up the video while I do this. So this is how the Grizaye is looking. And do I think it looks anything like the picture? No, exactly what I thought. It was not going to look like the picture, because the picture is a picture that has been photoshopped and everything else. So this is how it turned out when I colored it. I also tried to blend out the colors. I've used two blenders, one my Prisma Premier blender and my Cardenci blender, and both just was not agreeing with this paper, and it just was not agreeing and was not working. But I did save the highlights, the little tips on the flowers, the white parts. Do I think it could be better? Yes. Do I think this is something that a beginner should do? I would not recommend it. It was a little frustrating to do this picture and to think you're going to get something like this. But I know as a colorist that is a picture. And I'm not going to end up with anything that looks like that. But here is my coloring, and this is how it turned out. So I gave it my best shot, but would I do it again? I don't think so. Was it worth my $20, which I paid $40 for a set of 2? No, I'd rather have a whole coloring book. And I'm not being down on this kit, and I'm not trying to be a big downer about this kit, but I just think it's something that is for more advanced, and I would say that I'm an advanced colorist because I've been coloring for about 10 years. So for this to have been so challenging for me, I wouldn't recommend it to any beginner. The most thing I did not like about it is that the background had no detail. Literally, I just was coloring in wherever I thought things should go. And I think I got it right. Let me zoom out so you can see both pictures side by side. And so here's both pictures side by side. And I don't know if I can get both of them in the camera, but if you look, I did get everything exactly where it should have been. And I did get the leaves the way it should look. So the leaves are in the spot that it should be, but I just feel like there was not enough detail in the background to decide where to put things. So that is the end of my Grizaye Color Kit review. And thank you again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and have a colorful day. Bye.